Hello and welcome to the Saturday morning live stream where we just talk about tech, a lot of smart home tech and whatever else is going on. So if you're new here, thank you for joining us. If you have any questions or things you want to talk about, let us know in the chat. I do get a little behind at times, but I go through every comment in there. So definitely share in there. For the regular viewers, thank you for coming back. This is the easiest part of being a content creator. It's being able to come and just talk with you guys and have fun with it. So I always have a good time doing this stream. I do need to try to be good with time and get done as close to 10 as possible. I say that every time, but I'm horrible about it. So now let's jump into comments. Break time. Good morning from Phoenix. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing great. This is, once I'm done with this, there's no video tomorrow. I wasn't able to get to where I wanted to be able to shoot. So it's a rainy weekend. I can't go outside, do a bunch of chores because it's raining. So life is good. How are you doing? John, good morning from sunny Texas and NASCAR weekend. Very cool. I'm glad to hear it's sunny for you, John, especially with NASCAR going on. That sounds like fun. That I hear just the roar of the cars going by is crazy. So very cool. Enjoy that, John. Nick, good morning to you. Thank you for being here. Devon, good morning. And William, good morning. Hope all is well. Things are good here, William. Hope you're well too. Thank you. And John, good morning again. John, one of our channel members. We have our channel member stream before this one at 8:15 a.m. PDT. And so we're so we had that stream and John was there earlier. Happy Easter weekend. Isn't it next weekend? I'm like, I'm behind. I'm way behind if that's the case. Jack Steiner, hey, Rhett, hope you're doing well. Yeah, rainy Sacramento. Oh, man, where'd the rain come from? Yesterday morning, yesterday morning, I went out, washed my car. I did like the spray wax on it. And then I debated whether or not I wanted to do the little little ceramic coat. I put the ceramic coating on, the car looked beautiful. And then I wake up this morning, it's just poured on it. But I don't care. I'm glad I did it. My car needed it. But yeah, I'm like, where did this come from? So Curtis, good morning to you. Thank you, Curtis, for being here. And Bill Wilson, the official timekeeper of the Craig's Tech Talk channel, and a good guy. Bill Wilson says, get your tech questions ready for Craig, and he'll try to help you navigate the world of tech. And when I can't help, the great folks in these streams are able to jump in and give the correct answer. So thank you, Bill. Larry, happy Saturday to you. Welcome. Lawrence, happy Saturday to you. And yeah, where were you? We missed you yesterday. I mean, not yesterday, last stream. Well, yesterday. And Larry, good morning. Larry was... morning. I'm new here. What happened here? We talk a lot of smack about this Larry guy. No. So Larry ran another 5K. That's crazy. Larry is, how many 5Ks do you run a year, Larry? What would you say? I love it. Bill, I've not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. I can relate to that so much. It's nice to be able to be optimistic about that. 10,000 ways that it won't work. So, Curtis, you got rain, we got snow. Very cool. Well, depends if you want the snow. We went skiing, not last weekend, but the weekend before, and it was it was melted. Everything was melted. It, like in California now, we seem to get a lot of rain, but the snow's been melting. Larry, 4 to 6 5Ks a year. That's impressive, man. Larry, and Larry's not a young man. I'm jealous that Larry does that much moving around. So that many 5Ks. So very cool, man. So what is happening in the world of tech for you guys? I'm usually way behind by now. I'm scrolling through. I'm all caught up. Man, I don't know what to do at this point in the stream. I'm usually behind. So Apple's getting sued. What do you guys think about that? No, the Department of Justice is suing Apple. I haven't really read the details of it just because I kind of feel like it's all nonsense. So, but how do you guys feel? Do you feel like Apple has their ecosystem locked down too much, or is it their right to choose how they want to set up their stuff, and you come in and you do it, or you don't? You know, that is putting it mildly. What the the age thing. So yeah, what do you guys think about that? Are you on team it's BS calling suing Apple, or yeah, good for the government? They should go after Apple. I'm curious where people are at. Enthused, good morning, welcome. Me personally, my thing is it's like you pay to play certain things. I can pay for it and play, and other things I can't. You know, and it's I don't know. I guess it seems so weird to me that that you all over in different places, you know, the way businesses are able to operate, yet they go after Apple. You know, like cable companies and satellite companies, and you know the way you can't get fiber everywhere for your cable, and the country's divided up. Areas are split up between these companies, and it's all rigged. It's rigged. And we're hosed by the internet companies, I think, and we're held hostage by these providers. But government doesn't step in and do crap about that. But Apple, you're bad. So for me, it's just like it's not. It will just turn a blind eye to things that could really, really affect the public on a daily basis. And then we get into things like this where, you know, you get into the Apple, like, you're not letting everybody play. You're like, oh, wow, God, I can't. I love to see the precedent that this is going to set. Every company needs to let everything else play on all their devices. So, you know, I mean, no. Okay, I gotta look this up real quick. Let's see. I'm gonna share this link in here. This is an old video. It's 10 years old. 6.2 million. Let's see if I can. Oh, I don't need Portuguese subtitles. Let's do English. Let's see if we could get. I'm gonna share this video for you guys. But this, it just burned into my head because it's like the truth to me. That I look at this. It is the first, and this thing is 10 years old. The first honest cable company, extremely decent. And this thing is just like, whoa. You know, it's basically telling you how you're just host. So no, you check out this video. There is some foul language in it, but yeah, there is. It just kind of explains to you what an oligopoly is. Yeah, oligopoly. Yeah, oligopoly. I can't even say it right, but that's just basically more than one company in collusion with each other to fix prices and give you mediocre service. But anyways, now William Craig, when it comes to Apple and their privacy, but when it comes to working with other products, they should open their minds to it. I think if, yeah, but now William throwing that out there, I think it's definitely good for Apple to to try to get their devices to work with other things. Like apparently they tried to get the Apple Watch to work with Android. Like they spent years working on that, but it just isn't practical. But I think what ends up happening in the tech space, William, which is weird, is where does that allowing other people and privacy, you know, where does that meet in the middle? Like I can easily see Apple going, none of you guys care about privacy like the rest of us do. We make our money off of your 30%. You make your money off of trying to get in evade, get into those private places for ad tracking and for data mining. So yeah, they're in opposition of each other. You're like, Google, you're an advertising company. Why would we want to let any Android stuff on this? You sell ads based on data collected from users. Why you how can your privacy standards possibly meet ours? So that's, I think that's a good point. Apple should be open to allowing everybody, like, God, if HomePods were open and could be used on both Android and Apple, that could be huge for them. But I think it's that who you in business with, and what are their motives? How do they make their money, and how do you make your money? That's where I think it just isn't going to work. Last I looked up a couple of years ago, I'm sure it's probably not far off, 85% of Google's money was made from ad revenue, from selling ads. So that's their business. Their business is selling ads. Their business is becoming a service business in the sense that they sell these apps and services. So that's one of those things that I'm like, okay, open it up. But yeah, we're in a weird space that every company, like if you look at up apps on the Apple App Store, it tells you what data is collected from these people. And I've looked at it. My daughter's made requests for apps. I'll scroll down. I'm like, what? You got to give up contact information, this, and this, so that you could be part of some dumb rewards program that some website will send you gift cards. You got to look at that. Now, if you're opening your whole operating system to that potential stuff, So the one thing I'll say, whatever comes out of this, make it apply to everybody. See how they all feel. Duncan, I think, but yeah, I think from whatever they can do to make it devices work with everything, I can see that. But so I appreciate that, William. They should open their minds to it. I just think it's such a weird space, It's one of those things like, okay, you have that relative is a complete slob, and it. You've lived with the person. You're like, it's your brother. He's like, he's a mess. He leaves a mess everywhere. I don't want him watching our house. It's like, I don't want him here for 2 weeks while we're out of town. No, he's a mess. I love him, but he's a mess. You got to look at so. But anyways, but I appreciate that. It's interesting on the smart home space now with Matter devices. What's nice is that is like a meeting of the privacy security side of things. That's where Google, Amazon, and Apple said we agree on privacy standards. Now, if we can do that on a real level across phones, just all those operating systems, that would be awesome. Then everybody could put their stuff everywhere. Real MoFlow, monopoly everywhere. Yeah, I saw your comment. That's why I had to put that video in there of the text. Bill, I'm an Android guy. I like more freedom. But now, Bill, do you think Apple should be made to open up like that, though? That. Like, I understand. Like, for me, I just like my device, like Apple devices. I don't tinker with much. I don't, I have just so used to them at this point that there really is no reason for me to go, Apple kicks butt over PCs, because they're all awesome. I mean, we live in an amazing time. Android, Apple, it's like, pick your flavor. They're amazing, all the stuff. It's all awesome. So let's, but I'm curious, do you think the reverse, that, hey, we should be able to put messages on Android phones, but you shouldn't be able to, and we need to manage our encryption the way we see fit, and you have no access to this, but it should be on there. Are you open to, is it about an open, I don't know. I don't even know what the hell I'm saying. John, it would be nice if Apple prices will go down some. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Where prices are never going down on anything. It's sad. So, it's one of those things. There's only up. Something to think about, though. I mean, that one thing I will say that for years, I mean, Apple's been really good about keeping the price typically stays the same per year, and then just new features get added in, and new features get added in. So that is, and then you'll get a new technology shift that'll warrant. You're like OLED, okay, that's a chance to hike it up $200, and then it'll stay there. They'll keep adding, and Devon, the Ghostbusters are back in an all new movie. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is now playing in movie theaters, and it's playing here over at Fusion Superplex. Very cool. Yeah, that I'm curious about that one because that brings back some of the original folks. Yeah, John wants to see Ghostbusters too. Larry, I always thought they'd reduce the chokehold on other apps and hardware. Yeah, yeah, and Larry, that's such a tough one that I'm like, but it's going the same way. It does the same thing on Google, like Google Play Store. It's all the same model though, except you could sideload on those. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, yeah, I just have this weird thought that it's like, yeah, you either we make a product, you pay for it, or you don't pay for it. This is how we make a product, you take it or leave it. And that just applies to everything. It's like this is my rate as a freelancer, or this, that's, yeah, I don't know. Like when someone comes to do work or something, it's like I feel like they give me a rate, and then it's like that is what they feel is fair for their services. So I don't feel fair going, well, no, you should do it this differently because of the. No, it's like, okay, that's not a good fit for me. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know how something people need to keep in mind though, too, that I don't think people are aware of. Spotify could be on HomePods. Spotify has made the choice not to. That is not an Apple limitation. That is Spotify choosing not to make one. Spotify also doesn't support AirPlay. That is a choice by them. So some of that stuff not playing well together, you got to also look at what companies are playing games. That it's like, oh, we want to reap all the rewards, but we don't want, then we want to whine, like Fortnite, those Fortnite players. It's like Fortnite, you guys wouldn't exist without the platform that Apple put together. So whine and complain, but how are you going to get that many customers on your own? You weren't. And I look at it as a content creator. I mean, YouTube gets 45% of the money. I get 55%. But guess what? They provide the platform, the eyeballs, the ads. They're doing all the advertising. I think they're doing pretty good. Now, let's see if I could start my own ad department, all these things. So for me, I really have a tough time. That's like if you built a business within someone else's structure and then you want to complain about it, it's not fair you're doing this. It's like, shut up. I never would let you in my house if I knew you were going to stab me in the back. That's one of those like biting the hand that feeds you at times. So it's like, yeah, 30% is too much. Okay, how about you see what you could do on your own? So that's one of those things. It's a tough one there. But yeah, it's one of the, I just keep it all the same. Like I think Bill had said, or yeah, who says, all right, I feel like I jumped ahead. That it's like, let's just have consistent rules, man. Let's keep it the same. Where did I lose? Yeah, I definitely agree with you. The only thing that separates William Apple from everybody else is that their protocol to be part of their ecosystem. Companies do not want to go through their process. But that's where I fall on, and it's like, okay, but why does their process need to change? I mean, there's Android, and there's billions of Android devices. That's the part I don't understand. It's like if you have a process that comes through, you have a path. You have a path that we've set up to our device, our path, but you don't like it. Okay. In my mind, it's like, then you don't get to play. I want to have my pool redone. Things that look like it's out of the 70s. But if I get a quote from someone tell me $55,000, dude, I don't like your processes, and I think you're overdoing it. You're making me jump through financial hoops. I'm not saying this to argue with you, William, but it's like in my mind with these different things is like when people complain about Apple's choices, it's like you're holding us down. It's like, okay. The contractor has me by the you know what. It's like, it's costing me a fortune. It's like, no, I chose to take on a renovation at the guy's cost. So I don't know. It's just weird to me. But yeah, companies don't like the process. And I think you get to a point, it's like you are the hero, the greatest, and then suddenly you're the villain. The hero becomes the villain. It's like, not that they were the hero, but it's like they're fine, now they're the worst thing ever. But yeah, William, you mentioned the process. That makes me think of Spotify. Curtis, only 27 degrees in Wisconsin. Oh my gosh, only 27 degrees. So, and you have shades on. So yeah, you're almost above freezing. Man, that's crazy. That's what I saw, Larry. Yes, one rule for all. That's where I'm at. Excuse me. Yeah, just one rule for all when it comes to these companies. Let's be consistent. I think it'd be nice if Apple photos would look the same on every phone's band. On every phone's band. Sorry, John. I'm sorry. Yeah, if Apple would look consistent for it, or real MoFlo, and for some third parties to get hacked and all your info out there anyhow, like AT&T just had a third party breach yet promote their Active Armor app. Yeah, I mean that's the kind of thing that's the weird part is you can't necessarily trust all these companies to do it. And why have people gone for Apple? Is there reliability? I don't know. It's like my mind goes to so many other places where this just seems like BS. Okay, I tell my my older in-laws that you know what, you want a phone you don't have to worry about. That it's just safe, easy, good to go. Just go with an iPhone. But now you have to let in other people. Other apps have to be able to get in. Now, do those holes that let other apps in open up more vulnerabilities that didn't used to be there? That now you've actually chipped away some of the reliability. So this phone that I said, hey, go to the App Store, download whatever, you are fine. Apple has you covered. Well, now they don't necessarily have you covered because you had to open a door to make a group happy. And yeah, you can't trust the other companies. At least with Apple's approach now, Apple can own it 100%. There's reports, such and such scam crypto app got through App Store. Well, who does that fall on? It falls right on Apple. Well, now it's like scam crypto app on iPhone. It's like, hey, you guys opened up the side loading. I don't know how you got it. You side loaded it, that sent it to this person, and that went to there, and enjoy it, folks. This is what you asked for. So, except the problem is the people that what really sucks about all this is the people who want iPhones the way they are, they don't get to have iPhones. iPhones have to change for this little bitty group. So we have to open up the door for this tiny group who doesn't really appreciate the value of the iPhone. I want a sideload. I want all the privacy, security. I want everything the iPhone happens, except I need to put my own apps in. Yeah. Suck it. That's all I got to say. It's like, oh, sorry. I was going to really try to avoid a rant today, but that really triggered me that it's like, you know what? If you did a survey, how many people on the iPhone ecosystem, if you asked everybody, how many of you would like sideloading? Would you think less than 50% of people would say they want that? It sucks, man. It sucks when things get jacked up because of a small group. you know, and this is one I'm gonna say that I probably shouldn't say. Like it really irritated the hell out of me when I took my daughter to a park and there was only one regular swing, and then there was two funky swings that were assistive swings. And I'm like, I'm not anti, you know, assistive things, but you're like, no, the numbers do not support the majority of people need assistive swings. It's simple as that. The numbers do not support it from a factual standpoint. It is not 60% of people in the community need an assistive swing of some kind. Not even 33% of people need it. So, but 2 out of the 3 can be traditional swings, and 1 can be an adaptive swing, assistive swing. That's the kind of thing. It's like the numbers don't support it. Apple folks aren't burning down the, you know, blowing up Apple's Twitter account saying, let us sideload, let us sideload. It's a bunch of whiny brats who need to shut up and go buy an Android. Sorry. And if you fall in that you think Android is like, hey, no, Apple needs to open up. Well, you'll be one of the ones to unsubscribe from me today. So, but yeah, that crap's just wrong. I'm disgusted by that. Sorry, guys. Really kind of, I shouldn't have brought this up. It really kind of twisted my... So, anyways, real MoFlo, Galaxy phones ain't cheap, especially the ones that compete with iPhones. Galaxy phones, they're not. They're not. And I would never say Samsung should ever be forced to put anything on their phones. I mean, I appreciate Samsung a lot. I think the phone industry moves forward because of Samsung. If it was left to Apple alone, we'd still be sitting on like an iPhone 5 looking thing. Apple moves slow. So you need Samsung to push new tech and new ideas and try things. That way Apple will go, okay, it's safe, we can do it now. So John, I'm using Habitat Hub 2 and HomeKit, and now I can get Yo-Link devices with HomeKit and can use shortcuts with this device now. Very cool. Yeah, that's what's nice about getting some of those hubs like Habitat, is opening up to being able to use a variety of other devices. You know, it's kind of crazy. I mean, I'm looking forward to the time when we don't need any of that anymore. And it's gonna be there eventually. So, real MoFlo, I should have chocolate chips in my Oreo cookies. DOJ, look into that. No. You should have the choice. So just to be safe, Oreo should include a small packet. Let's say you buy a 4-pack of cookies. There should be probably about 15 chocolate chips in there, 16, 4 per. And then you should have the choice whether you want to add them. They still should pay for it. If you don't need the chocolate chips, then you should just throw them away. They should still foot the bill just in case you're one of those people who wants to shove the chocolate chip in your Oreo. So don't put them in there, but make them supply it. So, William, hey, Craig, it's kind of funny that you're talking about Spotify. It's the same concept with Netflix. They chose not to work with Apple. And that's the thing. It's like you pick and choose, you know? I mean, and there's people that, well, it's one of those things that you look at it like the Joe Rogan deal. And Joe Rogan was exclusive on Spotify. I listened to some Joe Rogan when he was on Apple Music. I wasn't interested in Spotify. Then a month ago or whatever, I look at my phone, new Joe Rogan podcast. Okay, well, his stuff is no longer exclusive to Spotify now. That's what should there have been a lawsuit or something? I paid for Apple Music. I use Apple Podcasts for this. I shouldn't have to pay money now for Joe Rogan. Now I got to pay, whatever the case may be. It was one of those that it just was what it was. He switched to there. I don't use that service. I'm not listening to Joe Rogan right now. Oh, he's back. Cool. Okay, I'll check it out. So yeah, it's do what you want, guys. Companies. Good morning, Brett. Thank you, Brett, for being here and being a channel member. Yeah, hope you're doing well, Brett. Apple, John, Apple is buying, an AI company. And apparently they're in talks with Google too, and possibly doing something with Google Gemini. So, and even Chat GPT. And that's one of those things, like, I think if Apple can see it, if Apple sees a good benefit in relationship, they make it, people work it out. I mean, if Apple never tried to take on Google as a search engine, but instead they came up with a good deal. Google pays Apple $10 billion a year to be the exclusive search engine on their thing. Win-win. They didn't have to make a search engine. Google doesn't, they pay some money. Their stuff is the first place you go to on Apple, on iPhones. So, God, I want them all to play together. Because I know, left to its own devices, I don't trust Apple AI to be amazing for quite a long time. But if they work with Google and Gemini within Safari and and you're able to capitalize on that, it's awesome. Do it. That'd be great. So yeah, I hope Apple partners up with either they get moving quickly and with their AI, or they partner up with someone. I've been using Chat GPT for a while, and they've had extensions that you could put in of that'll give you different features. What's happening now is I'm not seeing those extension options. Instead, those different things have become their own chatbots. So what was just one thing that I would type into and search these different extensions, now I have to go to individual chatbots. So it's actually become more complicated, where I can see Apple basically doing the same thing with their chat GPT type thing. Like, it can be used in this way and in this way and in this way, but not in a global way. I don't know. It'll be constrained. Apple will constrain its powers, I feel like. But if they partner with someone else, we may get a better product. Larry, it doesn't make sense that the AG was talking about Apple messaging being closed off and videos being fuzzy when Apple is about to switch to RCS in a few months. Well, the only reason they're gonna do RCS is they knew this was coming. I'm sure. People have proprietary technology that makes them better than other places. That's what it is. If you want that technology, you got to go to them. Yeah. No, it sucks. I mean, that's the thing is SMS messaging, it doesn't work and wasn't good enough. So Apple created their own thing. Proprietary stuff. That's okay. But yeah, the adding RCS, I'm like, why not? Like, I don't know. To me, if Apple needs iMessages to keep their empire afloat, that is on very shaky ground. They're like, we can't do RCS. It all crumbles without RCS. If we let RCS on, our only advantage goes away. So, no, I don't. Yeah, I think it's good that they're adding it. But yeah, I don't think there's really any reason not to, other than give us a reason to. Fred Zed, hi Craig, great show as usual. Oh, thank you very much. Do you think all these possible fines that Apple face will be passed to the customers via price hikes? I don't, because I think just the pile of money they're sitting on and the amount of money they have to pay out a year anyways on stuff. If anything, I think this would be jumping on the bandwagon of, what wasn't it, Ireland they had to pay a bunch of taxes on, and European Union there were some that they were basically accountable for past taxes. I think it's just a money grab happening here. And yeah, with the amount of patent stuff Apple has to pay out over the years, the taxes over in Europe, I don't think it'll change too much. They'll pick their technological moments to do a price jump. Like the next iPads are supposed to have OLED. Well, that'll jump, and then that'll establish $11.99's the new price of the 12.9 inch. And then next year, OLED will be a little cheaper. And next year, a little cheaper. But the price will never go back down. So I think it'll just be... You can't really break the pricing model that they have over this. This is too small time for that, Like Apple's sitting on billions of dollars outside of this country. Like there's some stupid like 70 billion, 80 billion dollars, just ridiculous numbers in cash that just sit outside this country because it costs too much to repatriate it. That if, you know, the US said, yeah, 5%, pay 5% on that, and you could bring all that cash back in the US. Apple just, and we'd have a big old pile of money coming in. So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think we'll see price hikes for that. John, photos that you take from one phone and someone else's has a different type of phone and it doesn't look as good. Yeah, see, and that's one of those things that some of that is the processing with it. Since everybody's kind of putting their own profile on their pictures in a way, you know, adjusting for their own screen cameras, you know, their own computational photography, it's going to be very hard to get everything to match because, you know, Google uses so much computational photography, and once you snap a picture, it's like, here's what we think it should look like. Well, then that file goes into a different phone and their calibration on their screens are different, or the quality. Yeah, that could be a tough one. Bill, Southwest Michigan, it's 36 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind chill is 26 Fahrenheit. Oh my God. High of 40 today, 61. You guys, you deserve a quick summer, or a faster spring, man. Yeah, today's rant brought to you by Apple. Yeah, I don't like the inconsistency. That's just the tough part. Is I just a very like binary black and white brain on this stuff, that it's either a free for all or we make our own rules, you know, and we just like establish different rules, you know. Apple goes, this is what we make. I don't know. It's so weird to me. It's bizarre. And there's times when you give away like with tech stuff, like I thought about, it was years ago that Elon Musk had opened up the patents for their battery technology that other companies can use and basically do their thing with it. And then like a couple years later, BMW comes out with the i3 that can do like 99 miles on a charge. I'm like, 2 years ago, Elon Musk basically told the car industry, do what you want with this. You can make your own cars based on this. And they all gave him the finger. And you're going to charge me for a BMW that goes a third of the miles when the technology was handed to you guys. So now there's cases where when the technology's opened up and people can use it and businesses go, well, that's not in our best interest. So, and then there's other times where it's like, oh, it stays closed, and then a handful of consumers complain that's not opened up. So, let's see. Duncan, I want to learn how to make custom shortcuts on my Apple. Any advice where to start? Well, see, that's a tough one because like there's people that it's like, where's a good place to start? I feel like we need a dumbed down version. Now one channel that I like that I think is a nice balanced approach, because there's, well, for you, Duncan, I don't know, maybe this guy, he's good for you. Now there's one guy that was like the man of shortcuts that worked with the original company. I can't remember his name, but he's so like hardcore, like, oh my God, like you're a little too intense with this stuff. But one of the ones that, a guy that I recently started watching, this guy, Steven, he's had a bunch of different shortcuts, videos that he's been making, recently. Like he had 7 iPhone shortcuts, and he had different categories that he'll break these things down into. So I would say check out Steven's channel because he's starting to, he has quite a few of them that I've seen pop up that I haven't watched a bunch, but he's got a very relaxed style to him, that a very relatable style. But like he's got 8 shortcuts for Apple Watch Ultra, garage opener, home status. You know, I mean, he's getting into the home automation side of things too. 15 iPhone typing secrets plus shortcuts. I mean, so I would say check out Steven's channel because I think he gives you a good, relatable point of view. That's probably one of the best that I could think. Shane has some shortcut stuff, but not a lot on his. And then the guy who's like the master of shortcuts, he's just a little too hard for me to watch. Like he's a little too into it. Let's see. So hopefully that helps, Duncan. But yeah, I like Steven's approach to stuff. A very relatable approach. And this dude is cranking, man. He's knocking out videos like every 3 days. He's got a video coming out. So I got to give him credit. It's a lot of work. So the guy's busting his butt. So go check him out. I don't know him, never talked to him, but want to give him his props. So, and Dan Tana, hey man, welcome. Thank you for being here. How you doing? What's going on? I saw you had a couple videos coming out with some new music. Saw those pop up. Glad to see you here. I don't know if you made it for rant time. Let's see, 30 minutes and one rant. Only one rant in 30 minutes. I'm not really even 11 minutes behind. Brad, hey Brad, welcome. Yeah, it pisses me off. I just hate that kind of stuff. All the rules. People it drives me crazy. Like even my own stoplight, one of the stoplights, I'm like, for years, you pull up to the stoplight, you'd wait, no cars come, the light turns for you. Somebody went over to the little magic box over there, reprogrammed that stuff up. Now we're on the timer system or some crap, and because some dude decided we were all moving too quick or something. So some rando decided they need to slow down. I'm like, who are these people? William, hey Craig, I really think that Apple's downfall when it comes to innovation happened when John left Apple. His innovation really skyrocketed at Apple. See, and William, this is like, God, I feel like we're gonna somehow, we started this episode as friends and then we leave as no, because I'm in the camp of, thank God that guy left. It's like we stopped making everything thinner. We got more battery life when that dude left. The iPhone got a little thicker and got more battery. This iPad or this got thicker when he left. I'm like, thank God I got more battery life and thickness. So, no, that's I think the innovation side. That's Steve Jobs and Johnny Ive, however. The two of them, that creative genius side. But the only thing I'll say with that I associate is the thinner, less ports. Where like I have an SD card slot. I feel like that couldn't happen if he was still there. Be like, I quit if you put that SD card. Maybe that's why he left. They're like, we are putting the SD card. I'm leaving. So that's why those. But that I would go to, that you got the Steve Jobs and Johnny Ives. You got their mentality pushing the ball down the field, making progress in there. But then you got the Tim Cook and the practical team that kind of is just kind of threw the practical things in there. Is there any point in the Echo Hub when you have the Show 8? Brad, it would be for the smart home controls. If you want a smart home controller for either you or for the family. So like David Nolan had mentioned before that in a comment that really the Echo Hub isn't meant for someone like me who knows how to control all the devices. It really is a good device for the family members who don't know how to work any of it. They can go up to it and go, light, oh, camera, scene, and it's all right there at the touch. But if you don't need that smart home control, like for me personally, everything's either runs by itself or there's a physical button or a sensor that triggers things. So having a touch panel doesn't really do much for me. So really, if you have the Show 8, if you aren't missing the touch side, then I'd say stay with the Show 8. Again, but I'm sure you saw my video that breaks all that stuff down in more detail, right? Devon, the third Paw Patrol film in the making. Ah, yeah, because wow, a third one in the making. Because I know we learned about the other one way in advance. William Brad, when it comes to the Echo Hub, it's more of a control panel. Yep, William's got it. And yeah, I appreciate you, William. Thank you, man. But that's one of those that, yeah. It, if you don't need a control panel, you're probably better served with one of the others. Or if you want something that it's just a clock and a control panel, it's a beautiful device for that. I like the fact that there's no ads, there's no miscellaneous screens, but as others have pointed out, at any point that could change. Amazon could change that whole layout of it. So now, William, are you how are you doing with your Vision Pro? Are you enjoying it? You getting regular use out of it? And let's see. Oh, and Bill, we only had a few really cold days this winter. We already had 70 degrees Fahrenheit plus this year. That's it. It's a weird. It's weird. Like we have random storms. We're getting rain. You know, the hills are green like they've never been. You're getting no winter, so minimal winter. Break time, Craig. Are you watching any of the March Madness games? I am not. I am not really a basketball fan. I think with any sports, I'd rather be there live and to kind of enjoy it for the experience of seeing it a game, but not huge on just watching. So, Victor, Apple thinks they are a mom and pop company, but they're not. Somehow they don't realize this. That is, that's an interesting perspective on it. Yeah. There was, I forget, there's some article that basically was saying every one of these companies, they're all bad in one way or another. They all suck in one way or another. Yeah, that's it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know what to think about Apple. Like, to me, Apple's more like a mom and pop. they're kind of just consistent. I don't know. Apple to me is just, I don't even know how to describe the company. I give up. I don't even know where I'm going with it. Jeff, would you recommend the Ring alarm for HomeKit as a replacement since Nest Secure is being killed off by Google on April 8th? I recommend Ring alarm for the fact that I think it is the best security choice out there for the price and for the features. Not for HomeKit, so because it doesn't work natively with HomeKit, which we should start a class action lawsuit against Amazon for not making their Ring devices, because they own Ring, compatible with everybody. So let's go after Amazon and Ring for not making their stuff open, especially after they agreed to the Matter standards. So where are the Matter Ring cameras and Ring alarm? You were going to play along nicely, Amazon. No, anyways, Jeff, I use both Ring alarm, Ring video doorbell, and Ring stick-up cam. When I switched to Ring alarm, it was $20 a month for professional monitoring and unlimited cameras. So I'm still paying that price on it. It doesn't work with HomeKit, but I don't care because I'm either going to look at it within the native app, and I really would prefer 6 months of cloud recording on the Ring servers, and instead of the limitations of 10 hours on my HomeKit secure video. So for me, I don't mind the separation, because if something goes off, if I see on my watch there's motion, pull out my phone, it's like I'm going to look at the Ring app or I'm going to look at it in the HomeKit app. So to me, I don't think anyone's doing the security side better yet. I say that also with the idea that I will never put a Ring camera inside this house. Outside all day. You know, Ring has proven themselves untrustworthy on the privacy front. They've proven themselves trustworthy on going off when things go wrong. So I will trust them for that. So I know my enemy. So that's no, and that's one of those things that it's knowing that hey, they've messed up. So I'm not going to trust them in the house, but they do a good job on their video doorbells and their other stuff. So I don't mind separating the two, but you can't always get they do it. There are different hubs and Homebridge and options that will allow you to work them in, but I just don't like the kind of, I don't know. I feel like they just run into issues at times if there just isn't native support. Brett saw Ghostbusters Frozen Empire yesterday. It was a lot of fun. Good, good. I'm glad to hear it was a lot of fun. That's more of what I'm looking for in movies is fun these days. I feel like we have such great TV shows that so many shows now are like watching a 12-hour movie that I go to the movies to relax, to get something not as intense. So that's good to hear. That one was fun. I wouldn't mind seeing that. And William, Craig, yes, I'm getting a lot of use when it comes to the Apple Vision Pro. My workflow at work has increased at least 45%. Very cool. So you got it. What are you using it primarily for? Is it as an extension of for your computer, or are you using mainly the native apps? Yeah, because what I'm finding, what I think is cool is that there's more and more apps, iPad apps work on the Vision Pro. And that's what people don't realize is there are so many iPad apps that carry right over to the Vision Pro. I do have the presence sensor. And it's been working consistently for me. I use it as more a general zone because of how I'm using it. I don't need it to pick up individual places. I use it to cover my kitchen more so that it comes on and stays on. I like the presence sensor more as an advanced motion sensor than I do using it for the individual zones. Because I don't like that there's no crossfade between zones. Victor, I saw a short where a guy is wearing a Vision Pro and he's playing basketball. He is arguing by himself. Apparently he's playing with a virtual person. I can see that happening if you're playing with somebody else. I mean, it's insane. It is really insane. I watched on the Vision Pro, I watched their immersive video, the immersive video of a lady who does high roping, which is going between like mountain cliffs on a high rope, like 3,000 feet in the air, and you are literally there, like she's full size. You're sitting there. I'm like, I'm watching this person walk, and my palms are sweating. It was visually, you are there. And it's the sounds and everything. It's, man, so I can actually picture arguing and playing basketball with someone. The rest of the world doesn't look great, but that person you're seeing there and playing with, it is real in a visual sense that is trippy. Like, I've never had a reaction. Well, I'd say something like Star Tours or those other rides that move you around and visually they trick you in it. But to sit there and watch something, I've never had a physical reaction like that, where like the whole time I'm feeling like tense. Like I was feeling my palms were sweaty watching this 20-minute video of this lady. And then she falls and I'm like, oh my God. And it was just so, there's nothing like it. It really, that's one of those things, content on the Vision Pro is incredible. A good way to get an idea of what it's like is, and this is one of those things that another content creator made a video on, is Apple's been doing this AR stuff for years. They've been doing it within their own app store. If you go to the Apple App Store and you do the AR versions of stuff and you put like one of their laptops on your desk and you're able to move around and look at the screen and go all around this device. Now just put that on your face and just now you're in it and you're physically moving your head around. So that Apple's AR stuff has been around for years. They've been, as this creator said, been dropping breadcrumbs that they've been working on the Vision Pro for years, in that AR space without us really knowing about it. We've been beta testing the technology. So, and if you look at it, if you're an iPhone user, go to the Apple App Store, pick any of their products and look at the AR version, and you can just put it on your desk and you can then move around it and see the product. So it's crazy stuff. Bill, just got a call from work. Blown bulb in the auditorium and show starts 30 minutes before I get there. Renter's tech is going to install it. Thought I'd give Craig a flashback. Oh, I know those feelings of, oh God, how are you going to get that fixed in time? Oh, yeah, blown bulb in the auditorium and show starts 30 minutes before I get there. Oh, yeah, man. 30 minutes. So yeah, that's pretty funny. The panic mode. When you have an event going on, that panic mode you got to deal with when things go wrong is no fun. Brett, Manhunt. Oh, and Blake, thank you very much, Blake, for 33 months as a channel member. Hey, Blake, we got to schedule something to talk. We got to talk on like Monday or something. If you have time, let me know. Let's here, I'm gonna send a text now because you're on my list. You're on my list of someone I wanted to talk to and we haven't talked. So I'm gonna send it right now so I don't forget. Blake edits videos on the channel. And yeah, we haven't talked in a bit because my videos have been inconsistent and yeah. Cool. There. Let's figure out a time. Let's see, where are we at? Now, Brett, Manhunt on Apple TV Plus is another great series. It's about John Wilkes Booth on the run after the Lincoln assassination. It sounded interesting, but since it was because of the time frame, being a historical thing, it was like, oh yeah, that sounds interesting, but I'm glad to hear it's good. I should check it out because just the fact it's an Apple TV Plus movie gives it street cred. I mean, they've done so well so far that really there's no reason not to give their show a shot. And it does sound interesting. So I will have to check it out. Thanks, Brett, for the heads up on that. William, Craig, I use Vision Pro more for work apps, Microsoft Office Suite. Yep. Different work applications open at once, multiple screens. And right now I'm adding a smart home dashboard. Very cool, man. Yeah, that's one of the things that I thought was impressive was there is oh, let me know what works for you on Wednesday or Thursday. Cool. There you go. But yeah, totally lost my train of thought. The Microsoft Office apps, there's native versions of that. So you can open up, have your Excel sheet here, a Word document here, PowerPoint happening, a window over here playing some music or YouTube video up in the corner. Yeah, there's a lot more you can do than people realize. I would not want to do any Microsoft work on my computer using it as an external display because there's just a lag in there that I don't like. But it's really cool that you can do those apps natively. And that's really the key with the Vision Pro. The more stuff you can do natively on there, just better experience. Yeah. The one thing that it needs, I keep hearing, is to be able to create to lock in windows. On the Vision Pro, you can't lock in a layout. Like you can't just turn it on and have it go back to all your same windows the same, which that would be cool. If you could just turn it on and you sit at a desk, it's like boom, 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 all your windows laid out as they were last time. So, but yeah, that's like one of the things that we're missing. Do you have Apple 15 videos? Sorry. Um, and Abe is a man. Welcome. Thank you for being here. And Lawrence, hello. Oh, iPhone 15 videos. No, I don't have any iPhone 15 videos. I really, I, I, I don't like phones enough to feel like I can offer enough value with phone videos. Like there are so many people that can do a better job with that and really kind of get deeper into it that I've just don't make phone videos. I made some early on, but it's such a competitive space that I don't think I can offer much value in. So I don't really try. So that would be too many people do it better. No. What again? Hey, I'll throw it out there because I like this dude. I think he's done. I like it. I like his vibe. I'm sure, and like I said, I don't know this guy, but I'm sure he probably has some iPhone 15 videos. So check that out. Oh, William, when am I going to have a smart home tour? I feel like, you know, and I don't know if it's other people have this same, smart home people have the same feeling. I feel like my home's too boring for a smart home tour. Like, I feel like that everyone else, like other people's homes are cooler. Like Shane's got a cooler looking home than mine. I live in LA in a house built in the 70s, you know, that or yeah, like yeah, mid 70s or 68. So I got I got a little boring house. I don't got like you walk in with what is it? You got smart home solver. It's like, "Hey, welcome to my crib." We're like, "Whoa, you notice that echo in this huge house?" No. You know, some of these guys I'm like, I feel like I can't live up to what I've seen from some of these other folks. So I have a smart home insecurity complex, I guess. So you're like Shane, yeah, Shane Watley. It's like, and here are my smart blind shades. Oh my, I got one over there. So that's, yeah, I see the scale of some of those guys' houses. I'm like, I got 1,800 square feet. These dudes are rocking 3,000 and it's all decked out, you know, latest amenities. I got smart home envy. That's it. That's it, William. I don't feel good enough to share. So Abe is Maine. Oh, sorry. Not man. The shortcut app on the phone is an area for you. The shortcut app. I still defer. That the shortcut app is one that I have my own shortcuts on that I use, but I don't use a ton of shortcuts regularly. So I still defer to Steven because I've never made a shortcut video because I don't feel like I am good enough at shortcuts that I use them enough to teach or share anything with. So let's see. So yeah, I would still defer back to him. Will Apple come out new Apple TV this year? That's a tough one to say. I don't know what they would really add to one. But I say that, and then they ended up coming out with two back to back. Like they had a 2021, which was the first update since 2018, and then the next year they came out with a 2022. So I don't know. That's a tough one. And there may not be a huge difference if there was one. William, no, Craig, when you showed us your wife's tour, that was one of my favorite videos and definitely seems a smart home tour from you would be awesome. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. And yeah, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I feel like the things that you run away from are sometimes the things you should be running towards. So maybe since I ran away from it, maybe I should do it. Real Mofalo, boring or not, it's the functionality of what the smart home stuff does. I'm interested to see. I also have a boring apartment. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, and that's where, yeah, I guess I should. I guess I should make one. I should finish up projects that I've been meaning to do too. And then, but yeah, I should just do a walkthrough. And one of the videos I was thinking, instead of it being a smart home tour, was smart home devices that I'm using. And we call it smart home tour or whatever. Maybe that just makes me feel better. Like I don't have to live up to the hype of the 3,000 square footers out there. My house was built yesterday and looks awesome. Yeah, mine's held together with bubble gum. So, no, I can laugh at that. Devon, Craig, season 2 of Fraggle Rock, Back to the Rock premieres in Apple TV Plus on Friday. 5 more days to go. Yeah, I've started seeing more ads happening for that, or more stories on that happening. But hey, it's 10:06. I'm gonna get out of here. We made it. Blake, I make so many shortcuts. A good one I use all the time is a simple tip calculator that you put the total cost of the meal into, and it gives you the tip amount and new total. Nice. Yeah, and that is one of those. This is what we'll throw out there for shortcuts. Just real quick, because it's available on any of the Apple devices. If you go to the gallery, here's shortcuts. And I have various ones that I have written, but I've written so many that I really don't use, or they run by themselves. But if you go under the gallery, that's where you're going to find there are just so many different types of shortcuts that you can download and start using. Just there's a ton of them there. So go through there, flip through them. You might be surprised. You want just to have a timer, a 20-minute timer that starts. Click that. You set up the shortcut. It'll and fill in the details, and the shortcut works. But look around. It'll give you some great ideas by just opening up these existing shortcuts that are already written. And you might be surprised how many things you have not thought about that could be automated. But anyways, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys very much for being here. A couple other comments. Abe is, man, if you get the holographic Pokemon Blastoise, that'll be a great centerpiece. That's I hadn't thought about any Pokemon centerpieces. Lawrence, ads on Echo Show. Yes, there'll be more of those. That's what I was actually thinking of. Why, I was thinking of another related Echo video. Have a great weekend. Hey, I have that same case. Oh, this case? I've been loving it. I love the original. I stay with the original cases. The action button is only on the 15 Pros, and that button can bring out a list of shortcuts, and the shortcut app has an automation, which is nice with Bluetooth music. Yeah, you can take advantage of the action button and you can trigger shortcuts. I had a shortcut that brought up a whole menu of options when I ran it. That was one I had for the phone that when I ran that one, I don't even know, iPhone shortcuts. Oh, the action button. Yeah, this one right here. Oh, this is the one I had for my action button. It would give me a menu choice that would either go focus mode, my different stock apps, Twitter, all those different options would pop up on the screen. It would trigger scenes, all of that. So these 3 would launch right into websites. These would do smart home control. And then those 2, one of those was a folder. And when I push the action button, pick off the menu, what I wanted to happen. And yeah, oh, there it is right now. This is what I would see when I push the action button. And then I just choose the item I want to do from that. So YouTube, and it's going to say, which one? Do I want my YouTube Studio app or the YouTube app? And yeah, so that was one of the shortcuts I had triggering. And then I found I never use it. So now all my action button does is switch between focus mode and regular. So I had this complex shortcut, but that was it. Let's see. So, Larry, thanks for the live feed. Thank you, Larry. I'm glad to see you here. And everybody have a great weekend. I'm going to get out now before I start talking about anything else. Have a great weekend. I will be back next week. There'll be a new video next weekend. Nothing new this week. Oh, yeah, let's do some fireworks. Okay, I will catch you guys next weekend. Have a great, oh God, words are hard today. Have a great weekend. Bye.